Hi, Sammy. Thanks for being patient with me. It's been crazy at the shop. Everybody's getting the New Year's spread and all of that. So it's been crazy. I did work today. I work all weekend, so I'm glad I was able to kind of squeeze it in. So thank you so much for your patience. Trying to channel that Aries energy here, right? Because that's a bold energy. So don't mind I'm a maximalist, so you can kind of see from my background that I have a lot of stuff. All right. So even though you had, worried that what you were asking was cliche, it really kind of is what people are interested in, which is, what should I be focused on? I mean, it's a brand new year. 2025 was a very difficult year for a lot of people. A lot of things kind of, I think because it was the year of the snake, a lot of people are saying that a lot of stuff was, kind of shedding skin, shedding people, shedding jobs, shedding a lot of stuff. So 2026 looks like it's going to be, I want to say mildly better. I can't even say moderately. I have to say mildly better. So I'm going to cut the deck, and then we are going to get into it. All right, so we have a Chariot reversed, and then we have a Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, that's interesting. Got a Hanged Man in your headspace. Ace of Pentacles. The Lovers. Very nice, very nice. Six of Wands. Okay. All right. I'm liking this energy so far, to be honest with you. It's interesting because when I first, usually when I pull the first two cards, it's kind of like the vibe of the reading, right? So, but there's a lot more to it than that. So when we look at your current situation, you have the Chariot in reverse. So the Chariot in reverse is, difficulties, kind of difficulty moving forward, feeling kind of stuck and stagnant, trying to figure out what is it that I want to do moving forward. What should I be focused on? It is definitely that kind of energy of kind of like, okay, what should I be focused on? Whether we look at physically, metaphysically, emotionally, because the Chariot can be our physical body, but it's also our emotional body, or our dreams, thoughts, goals, aspirations. That's the Chariot reversed. So when it's reversed, you might be kind of stuck, like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And what's I'm going to say complimenting you on this is the Nine of Swords in reverse. Now, we all know the Nine of Swords, difficult energy, right? Nine of Swords can be kind of like overthinking, rumination, depression, anxiety, insomnia, all of those things, right? But when it's reversed, it's really about focused on healing and actually headed into a better space. And I know this because there's a couple of the other cards around. You have a Six of Wands, so which is a victory card. But this card that's reversed, okay, is coming out of maybe a difficult time, or even trying to figure out how to kind of, I don't know if it's live in the moment, but not ruminate on the past so much, and actually really focus on the future. I think that's the thing, is that maybe you're looking for some answers, maybe not in the past, but like saying, okay, I know what I don't want. So the Nine of Swords is really kind of not overthinking, but productive thinking about how to move forward. And that's exactly what you've asked me to do in this reading. So, I mean, I think it's pertinent. So when we look in your headspace, we have a Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is kind of taking emotional inventory on where you're at. It's pain and suffering that leads to enlightenment. It's being in a difficult position so you can gain wisdom, gain clarity. It's a little bit of an emotional timeout. So when we look at this in your headspace, we kind of see this like, I want to move ahead emotionally. Is it safe? Is it time? Am I getting a good perspective? Because really that's what this is. It's just taking emotional perspective. And it's interesting because the first couple cards that we're pulling here are swords and basically cups, but they're majors. So the first card's Chariot is Cancer, and that's those big emotions, big feelings. And then, of course, it's complemented by the Nine of Swords, which is how do we handle those big things? What do we think about those big feelings? Are we overthinking it? Are we overdoing it? Do we need to invest in more and more thinking? And then we have the Hanged Man in the headspace, which is Pisces. So it's kind of like taking yourself out of the flow in order to feel more in alignment with what you want to do. So again, this is exactly what you're asking me, is like what you're already kind of doing. And so also if we look at kind of like the head, the heart, and the feet. So in the head, we have the Hanged Man, which again is kind of pulling yourself back and kind of looking at things from the best perspective that you can. And then the Chariot, where the heart is kind of like, I want to do something that I'm passionate about. And so the Nine of Swords is like, okay, well, let's not overthink it. Let's feel it. Let's feel about it, right? And then let's do something. In the foundation, you have the Six of Wands in reverse. So Six of Wands is a card of Leo. It's normally a victory card. It's a card of kind of trying to not necessarily control your environment, but try to make sense and gain some clarity and gain some perspective on your external environment. It is a victory card. It's peace, success, whatever. When it's reversed, though, it can say that you're losing hope, losing patience, whatever. And honestly, in the fact that the Six of Wands is in your foundation, especially reversed, can kind of be like, hey, I'm not that you're on shaky ground. I don't think that's quite it. It's kind of like, how can I make this year a little bit more successful? Because it's not like you're unsuccessful. Just how can I be more successful? That's the six of Wands in reverse. It's kind of like, it's that courage and bravery to kind of admit to yourself, like, I could be doing more. I'm a little stuck and stagnant right now. I could be doing more. And it's not really about success, failure per se. It's kind of like, how can I thrive even more? How can I make this success even better? So when we look in the recent past, I love it. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And this is interesting in the Marseille deck. A lot of them don't really read as reversals. So the Ace of Pentacles shows success. So again, you've had a good amount of success. This is not even about not being successful. It's just about how can I kind of capitalize and be more successful. And also, how can I get myself motivated in a practical way? And not motivated in the way that Aries is just like seat of their pants, super spontaneous, super like, oh my God, Midas touch, let's go. It's more about being a little bit more methodical and actually long-term. So this could be that you're thinking about something long-term for long-term success. Again, this is just your situation. I'm going to be curious to see what the advice is, because that's where like we obviously you already know what your situation is. And then you go to the near future, we have the Lovers. Beautiful energy. The Lovers is partnerships with people we love. It can be romantic partnerships, but also the Lovers is about forging ahead with choices that we've made that we're kind of sticking to and saying, hey, I made these choices and I think they're going to really work out for me. I'm going to be happy with these choices. That's basically what this is. I love it. It's one of my favorite cards. It's Gemini energy. So it's kind of the duality of it, of like thinking and feeling, and also choices and choosing to be in the place that you're in, choosing success. And I'm showing that the Lovers is like, you're in a really good relationship right now. It's a good power dynamic. It's, the Lovers is kind of like you're choosing to be in this relationship and it's advantageous for you. So far, so good. It's just, again, a lot of it is a little bit of stagnation, not sure how we're going to move forward. But I feel like this Six of Wands in the foundation is just kind of like, there can be a little bit of maybe just not sure. There could be a little bit of like, oh, I hope this is, I'm on the right track, but I feel like almost like I should be doing more. It's a little bit of that. And then when we go to the current situation of the Chariot in reverse, The fact that it's reversed is kind of like you're driving the bus on it. You will decide when is time to go based on that Nine of Swords energy of like, okay, you know, I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to overthink it, but I want it to come from the heart, and then I want to move forward. Because again, we're talking about Cancer. But we have this beautiful Ace of Pentacles. You've already started the ball rolling. So to be honest, this could be just some things that you want to level up with, or you've already started it. So how can you even make it better? That's kind of the energy. All right, let's go to the advice column that I like to keep reversed and see what the potential advice and the potential outcome is. So we start out with a lot of Queen energy here. So we start out with you with the Queen of Wands or batons, whatever. That's you. Aries, Leo, Sag. Midas touch, creative, entrepreneurial, motivated, passionate, charismatic. You know, whatever I set my mind to, I'm going to do. You know, and I like that that's how you feel about it. I like how that's how you feel about your situation, is that you are ready. Even though there's part of you that's kind of like, okay, I need to regroup, I need to do this, but for the most part, when it's time to go, when the starting gun goes, you're going to be ready. And so this Queen of Wands is really asking you, what are you passionate about? Are you passionate about something that you need to level up with? Because again, you've already put in a lot of time, energy, effort with this Ace of Pentacles. So this feels like it's like, hey, you're already on the track. How can you go faster or push further? Or that's what this card is. And it's saying that all you got to do is do it. I mean, because you already laid a nice solid foundation. And the Chariot's like, yeah, all you have to do is kind of like flip the switch or hit the reins or whatever, and then moving forward. That's what this is. And so you're ready. So let's see what the advice of the cards is. We have a Four of Wands in reverse. So card of Aries, right? It's a wish fulfillment. It's the 1111. This is a Marseille deck, so it's like kind of bendy, but whatever. So we look at this Four of Wands in reverse, and the Four of Wands reverse can feel a little bit of, I don't want to say disharmony, because I don't think it's that. I feel like with the Four of Wands, it's like that maybe there's more happening. I will say though, there's a couple different things that come to mind because you said, what should I be focused on? And number one, it's really about what you're passionate about. It's really about looking at things from a perspective. It's don't go until you're ready to go. That's a huge message here with the Hanged Man, the Chariot in reverse, and even the Six of Wands. I don't want to say half-ass it, but don't be too impulsive. Like, do try to plan this out. You've already sowed these wonderful seeds. So I feel like this is to do with, I don't have pentacles, so I don't know if it's necessarily work, but it does kind of feel that way to me. It's something that you're super inspired about. This feels a little bit more spiritual though than just work, but sometimes people do have that kind of, closeness with their work. And the Lovers is a great card in the future, saying that, you're going to make the right choice. This is the potential future. And then your potential outcome, when we get to it, you'll see what I mean. It's also good. But right now it's this Four of Wands where it's like, you're happy in your household, whether it's the household or the household, you're happy. But the Four of Wands is like, okay, but like, do we need to push ourselves a little bit more? Is this our complete wish fulfillment, or is there more to come? And I feel like this Queen of Wands is like, oh yeah, hell yeah, there's more to come. There's more to come. And so it's really kind of focusing on, I don't know, for some reason the word nuance just keeps coming to mind, because I feel like you've laid the solid foundation. This isn't one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, it's a complete overhaul. You've already done a ton of work. You've already laid a solid foundation. Plus you have a real supportive partner. So it's almost kind of saying like, yeah. But again, the kind of the message is don't pull the rug out from under yourself until you're ready, honestly. So again, Four of Wands is like good solid foundation. You're happy in your household, but what's missing? There's something missing. Or at least how could you even be happier, right? All right. And again, that's sometimes a marriage card, but I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily reading as that, but I like to throw it out. What's your obstacle? So your obstacle is the Five of Swords in reverse, compromise. It's also kind of like conflict resolution. Really, the Five of Swords reversed is like what needs to be surrendered, what needs to kind of stay, what needs to go. And that's that thinking. That goes back. You have a lot of swords here, which is about, thinking. Fives can be difficult, but I will say five of swords in reverse is conflict resolution. It's kind of like thinking it and then saying, okay, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to keep? What do I need to tweak? And yeah, we have a Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups, one of the happiest cards in the deck. Again, reversed, just like the Four of Wands. Four of Wands and Ten of Cups, similar energy because it's about domestic and it's about internally, but it's also about externally too. So like the Four of Wands being that domestic bliss card, the Ten of Cups is, peace and harmony within a family card. And it's a happy ending card, no doubt. When it's reversed though, it's kind of like, is there ever going to be, I don't want to say, are things ever going to come to and sometime a fruitful end or whatever? And the answer is no, because this is like think of like a continuous fountain that you keep putting water and bubbles and joy and fish or whatever in, and it keeps circulating. And so it's like, it's you just not recirculating a dream, but something that just keeps coming up. And it's like saying that Ten of Cups is saying, hey, you'll be disappointed if you don't kind of, I don't know if the words level up, but yeah. And then we have the, kind of the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the Eight of Swords in reverse is about freedom. It's about, being happy by way of manifestation, setting those intentions. And again, you have a lot of swords. And so the swords is like, first we want to think about it. Then we want to kind of, put our feelers out, and then we want to do something about it. So I feel like the Eight of Swords is kind of like, you're not trapped. You can you have a lot, a good amount of freedom, maybe within certain, I guess the way I'm sort of reading this Eight of Swords is kind of like wanting to have a little bit more freedom, have, and maybe it's having a little bit more free time. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Having a little bit more free time. All right. What's the hopes and the fears? Well, we have the King of Wands in reverse. What's kind of funny, if you have a suited pair, you have the Queen and the King. I'm just reading both of you as the King and the Queen because we already know the Lovers card is a really good partnership. I could read the King and Queen as a good partnership, but because the King is coming up reversed in your fears, I'm going to look at it as fear. Fear of, kind of like, I don't even know if it's fear. I feel like it could be kind of like apprehension or, I really want to do this. I really want to be successful, but, a little bit of stagnation. It could be honestly fear of stagnation. But it's also can be fear of moving forward and, screwing something up or moving too fast or, I don't hate that he's here because I feel like he's kind of just like your other half. And again, your other half of you. Because again, and even if we looked at it as a suited pair and you coming up as the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands reverse could be somebody who's a voice of reason in your life, for sure. And then I love it because your outcome is the Queen of Cups. And so the Queen of Cups is abundance, fruition, emotional growth, emotional intelligence. She's what kind of comes out when we employ this Hanged Man to kind of think and feel about something, think through it before making any moves. But I really, 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 really like the King of Cups in your outcome. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But, these two queens together are really two sides of the same coin. We talk about different sort of emotions. Wands are about passion and about like being inspiration and creative and having this, I want to do this. And then the Queen of Cups is like, yeah, that's what my soul wants. That makes my heart sing. This is in alignment with me. So the fact that you're presenting as these two queens and your potential outcome is the Queen of Cups, she is I love that her cup is covered. It's about self-containment. It's about being joyful and excited, but also kind of like, being realistic but also being emotionally intelligent, emotionally available. Queen of Cups is also super affectionate, is feeling on top of her game. I mean, clearly you're showing up as these two queens, right? And, I really like this energy. So, I mean, I guess the long and short of it is that, it is a good year to focus on something that you want to do. Try not to overthink it, but at the same time, don't just go off, half cocked. Because there does seem to be a level up here. You've already built a nice solid foundation. You have a great partner. There's courage, bravery. The Hanged Man is kind of like, okay, I'm successful, but how can I even level up from that success? That's what this feels like, honestly. 10 of Cups and the 4 of Wands are the happiest cards next to the Sun. Those are like the top 3 happy cards, right? 4 of Wands is that domestic bliss. It's already showing up here, but it's like, I don't want to say there's something missing, but it's like, again, is there something you need to focus on that has already been successful, or that you've already sowed the seeds and you can just kind of like be like, yeah. But yeah, there's more that I could be doing with that. And then the 10 of Cups is like peace and harmony. And again, happy ending. But when I look at that 10 of Cups reverse, it's like, okay. Yes, there's peace and harmony, but also, how can I make this even a better ending? And again, intention setting, manifestation through intentions. And then we have the 5 of Swords in reverse, which is, conflict resolution, but it also can be about like surrendering things, like what needs to be cut out in order, because, the card that comes after the 5 of Wands is the 6 of Wands, which is kind of that card of, going over to calmer waters, making sense of what it is that you're trying to do. And so, yeah. I don't know. I like it. You have a nice mix of things. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to send this over to you, and thank you for your patience. And hope to see you soon. Maybe we'll see right at a concert again. Although concert season is over until spring, maybe for us. But anyway, you're going to, yes, bring your boo in for a couples reading. That's my specialty. I love doing couples readings. Anyways, I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. I can always clarify, but I'm going to send this to you, and we will talk soon, Sammy.